fastest ways to become broke in Canada is to eat out. Period. The bank is charging you for spending your own money. Why are you charging me for spending my money? It's my money. I should be able to spend it. When you come into Canada as a new immigrant, obviously you're not going to be sleeping on the street. When it comes to heating, you can't say, oh, I don't really need heating, the price is just too much. Should you still come to Canada? Yes, you should.
You have to be your biggest fan.
Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Nikki, aka Ada Canada. If this is the first time you're seeing my face, please don't make it your last. I hope that you do get to stick around, check this video out, and check out other videos. Like and also subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome. Thank you. Hi. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about how much I spend in a month as a new immigrant in Canada. Technically, I'm not really a new immigrant per se because I've been here a while, but I have once been a new immigrant technically, which was when I was still very fresh, still very new in Canada, and I feel like I have authority to come and discuss on this subject. So this video is not just for people who just got their PR and are about to land in Canada. This video is also for students. This video is just for anyone in general who is curious about how much your monthly expenditure is actually going to be if you were to migrate to Canada. This video kind of cuts across that entire spectrum. I do want to clarify that anything that I talk about where I mention prices in dollars, I am making reference to Edmonton because this is where I live. This is where I've done my research. Now obviously I don't really know much about Toronto. I don't know how it's like in Ottawa. I don't know how it's like in Vancouver. I've never really lived in those cities for longer than a month. I've never really experienced what it's like to live there and how much an immigrant will spend there. Edmonton is what I know. I've been living here for a long time. When you come into Canada as a new immigrant, the first thing that you're going to do is to look for a place to stay. Obviously, you're not going to be sleeping on the street or you're not going to be sleeping under the bridge. You definitely need a place to stay. So rent is one of the biggest factors to consider when you're looking at how much you spend in a month. And as a new immigrant, if you're a student, there are so many factors that go into where you want to stay. Geographic location is one of them. For example, as a student, you might want to consider living in a place that is closer to school, just so it's easier for you to be close to school. You want to live in a place where there is a good transportation network, where you just want to come out from your place, get on the bus and start going to school. If you're a family person, say you came into Canada with your family, with your kids and everything, you want to consider not just the geographic location, but you also want to consider schools. Are there any nearby elementary schools or middle schools or high schools that your kids can attend? You want to make sure that the schools that they are attending are going to be within the districts that you're living. I mean, you don't want to be living in Cotonou, but you're sending your kids to Edmonton to go and school, if that makes any sense, right? So you want to make sure that schools are kind of within that district or within that area of Edmonton that is closer to the house. Security. You want to make sure that the place that you're looking to stay in is very secure. When you're out on the market looking for a place to rent, you have to ask the necessary questions, okay? If you come across a place where there has been theft, how often is that theft, okay? If they say, oh, this place, people used to come and steal every month. Now, obviously, it's going to sway your decision, right? Because you don't want to stay in a place where they are always stealing. Every time, somebody is always coming to that apartment building to steal. Because if you move in, it's only going to be a matter of time before they come for you and steal your own properties. Another thing to consider is the average price, the type of apartment, credit history, jobs. So there are some places where the landlord or whoever is renting the property out will want to see evidence of employment, or they will ask you for references. On average, in Edmonton, the average price of rent for a 2-bedroom is somewhere around 1,300. A 2-bedroom flat, 2-bedroom apartment, standard, basic, and I mean standard average. Okay, now obviously there are going to be places that will be cheaper than this price, and there are going to be places that will be more expensive depending on the location, as well as those other factors that come into play when it comes to rent. If you're a student, I would advise you to look for a roommate, okay? Because coming in as a new immigrant, new student, if you go to a place and they're asking for references, or they're asking for your credit history, or they're asking for evidence of employment, you know, that kind of thing, of course you're not going to have those, right? You won't be able to provide those because you are just a new immigrant, you're just on a study visa, so you won't be able to provide those because you haven't even lived in Canada to be able to provide those. Just look for a roommate. You can go on Kijiji, or you can go on Facebook Marketplace and just look for the apartments where people are looking for roommates. It's just a lot easier to handle. If you're going to be sharing with someone which is your roommate, that means you're paying $650. $650 is average standard estimate that somebody will pay for a 2-bedroom. Here in Canada, roommates does not necessarily mean that the other person is sharing the same room with you. Roommates means that both of you are sharing the apartment. The other person has their own room and then you have your own room. So the only thing that you end up sharing will be the living area, the kitchen, and maybe the toilet and the bathroom. This price that I'm telling you is for an apartment that is not furnished. Okay, so the apartment is not furnished. For 1,300, that is just the base estimate, which means the room comes empty. You're still going to need money to buy furniture, buy bed, buy chair, buy study table, and all whatnot that you need to buy in order to furnish the room. When it comes to utilities, now utilities, those are things like heating, water, power supply, garbage disposal. Because when you add everything together, let us just assume that it's going to cost around $100 every month. $100 every month plus your $650 every month. That is $750 every month. Some rental apartments whereby the landlord will be like, okay, you're only paying them rent. For utilities, you have to pay those ones separately. There are some other places where you pay all of them together, so you're paying $750 if you include the utilities on top of it. In my place, this place where I'm staying, I'm not paying anything separately. I just pay all of them together. Utilities are things that you actually need. For example, when it comes to heating, you can't say, oh, I don't really need heating, you know, the price is just too much. I'm going to just, you know, go to the store and go and buy me an external heater, come inside, plug it into my room, and I should be fine. You can't do that. Frostbite. Hypothermia is real. In some places, you will have to pay your renters insurance. Now, there are some landlords that will tell you you have to go and look for your renter's insurance yourself. You have to go and contact a rental company. Average is around $25-30 on average. Yeah, that's around $25-30 depending on which insurance company you choose. In some other places, you pay everything together with your rent. Now, I don't pay renter's insurance separately. Everything, just like I said earlier, is included in my rent. You need to insure yourself and your properties when you're paying rent, just so in the event of any adverse circumstances, insurance will be able to cover you. When it comes to food, one important advice: if you don't take anything else from this video, please take this important advice. If you're an African like me, when you're coming to Canada, bring your food stuff from your home country. When you're coming from Nigeria, bring your dry Nigerian food stuff. Bring your food stuff enough to last you. It's cheaper. You will save yourself a lot of coins from going to African store. African store is very expensive. I do want to make it clear, one of the fastest ways to become broke in Canada is to eat out. Period. The best thing that I always advise people is cook your food at home and eat it. It is always cheaper. That way you know what you're eating. So when it comes to food, you can budget $200 a month depending on the kinds of things that you buy. You may or may not spend up to that amount, or you may even spend more than that amount in a month. But when it comes to transportation, if you're a new immigrant, new student in Edmonton, there is something called a bus pass or a train pass that you get. This is the card. This is an ARC card, and This is like your bus pass and your train pass as a student. When you come into Canada as a new student, you go to the student office or student body office or something. This is where they give out the AF card, and then when you collect the AF card, you go online to your student portal, you activate it, and you need your ID card. There is a scanning machine in the bus and also at the train station. When you scan this card, show the bus driver your ID so that you can go in. If you are not a student, if you're here as a PR, I would say transportation is going to cost you, let us just approximate it to $100. The monthly pass for an adult is around $90-something last time that I checked. So let us just call it $100. $100 every month to use the bus and the train. So the next item on this list when it comes to expenditure is internet, which is Wi-Fi. On average, I would say internet is around $50 in Edmonton. On average, it could be more, it could be less. If you're a student, you can get a student discount on internet. With student discount, is somewhere between $30 to $40. It is unlimited. It's not going to finish before the month ends. In some rental properties, there are some landlords that will include the cost of internet into the rent. There are some landlords that don't do that, and if you end up getting a place where you have to get your own internet, call the internet company to come and fix internet and cable for you, then that means you're paying your own internet separately. If you're adding cable, obviously that is going to cost more. The next thing on the list is your phone bill. With phone bill, the price is going to differ depending on the phone carrier that you're using and depending on the amount of data that you want. On average, the phone bill will be around $50 a month. There are the higher or the more expensive packages, and then there are the cheaper packages, and they are just the ones that are in the middle. The next one is bank fees. And when you open an account, of course you need to open an account in Canada so I can put your money, because nobody really carries cash around. There are monthly fees that banks usually charge, which I think is just crazy, because the bank is charging you for spending your own money. Like, make it make sense. Why are you charging me for spending my money? It's my money. So bank fees, bank charges are usually somewhere between $10, $12. It's around that $10, $12 mark. The last thing on the list is miscellaneous. Now miscellaneous are, you know, things like buying clothes, for example, going out to eat, if you just want to, like, once in a while use the gym. This one is something that is kind of subjective, or is kind of based on you as an individual, and this is where financial discipline comes in. So one thing I would usually advise is, when you're budgeting for your miscellaneous expenses, stay within $150 or less for your miscellaneous, because obviously you're not going to be buying clothes every month, you're not going to be eating out every month. Well, I don't know if you want to eat out, but I don't eat out like crazy like that. It's just for like some all this extra expenditure and stuff. So budget $150 every month. So if you total everything together, it comes down to $1,335 that you spend every month as a new immigrant. And this is just you being an individual. If you're coming with your family, it's going to be a lot more than this, because of the rent and there are extra members that you have to also take into consideration. So it's going to be more than this amount. Personally, I actually spend less than this $1,300 in a month, but like I said, this is just an average. This gives you an idea of what it's like to live as a new immigrant and how much you spend every month. Now obviously, when you come here, the expectation is that you're going to be looking for ways that you get more money. It's a lot, but then should you still come to Canada? Yes, you should. You definitely should still come to Canada. So that's it for today's video. I hope that you did like this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and check out my other videos as well. Turn on your post notifications so that you never miss a video from me the next time I upload. And until then, I will see you guys in my next video. Stay safe. Bye.
Stay in the morning, stay tomorrow with me.